little bit today to accommodate schedules because some of us have board meetings and other things that we need to get to earlier in the afternoon. So we'll start. Dusty, if you'll call the roll, please.
Ms. Hutton?
Here.
Chair Trivett?
Here.
Vice Chair Stevens?
Here.
Mr. Fuller?
Here.
Mr. Carnifax?
Here.
Next item on our agenda is approval of the minutes. I assume everybody's had a chance to take a look at them. If there's any questions or comments or corrections, now's the time.
Move to approve. Second.
Ms. Hutton?
Aye.
Chair Trivett?
Aye.
Vice Chair Stevens?
Aye.
Mr. Fuller?
Aye.
Mr. Carnifax?
Aye.
Board member announcements. Anybody got anything they'd like to share?
Mr. Chair, the only announcement is I'm one of those scheduled people. I have another meeting at 5 o'clock, so about 3:45 I need to excuse myself. So I apologize for that, but appreciate the accommodation.
Okay, we'll do it. Anybody else? All right, let's move on and do reports. Ms. Dameron, financial report.
Yes. Our total debt position year-to-date is $6,026,297. That's a decrease from September of $3,879,585. That was the result of interest revenue of $62,000, operating expenses of $60,093, and capital expenses of $3,648,157. In addition to those revenue and expenses, I had a change in the beginning fund balance of $233,000 and a decrease. And that was just the result of accounting some year-end closing entries. One was arbitrage liability that we have on our bonds, and the other was resulting from lease adjustments as part of GASB 96. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Any questions for Ms. Dameron? No? All right, thank you, Ms. Dameron. While Mark's getting settled in, we'll go ahead and do the executive director's report.
Good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing great. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know we're on a time crunch. Over the past several weeks, I have tried to focus on strengthening our overall governance and framework, developing new policies and procedures that are consistent and transparent and along with all three jurisdictions. Some of those examples are I have met with Mrs. Hicks with the City of Williamsburg this past week. We've updated the travel policy. I'll be getting that out to the board for review within the next several weeks. The other policy that I've been working on this past week is the firearms, knives, and ammo. We've had requests for different shows and possible raffles and giveaways, and we currently as HTRFA do not have a policy, so I've drafted that policy as well. I've sent it to our attorneys and to Chair Trivett for the first review. Some of the other items that I've been working on is with, I will be monitoring Kemper with the RFPs and be in compliance with budget control. I've also continued tours with the Parks and Recreation departments. And the other thing that I've been trying very hard to do is have communication and be transparent and consistent, and that's providing each one of the board members with my executive summary each week. Stakeholders and outreach. Over the last month, I've continued to strengthen our partnerships across the region. We've maintained coordination with Visit Williamsburg and the Greater Williamsburg Chamber of Commerce, ensuring that the HTRFA remains visible in both the tourism and the business communities. I've been working with Kemper and the Superlative Group. I've also worked with the City of Williamsburg Economic Development Director, Ms. Matsumoto, and Mr. Walker in collaboration for a grant that HTRFA submitted to the VBAF. We will know about that grant anywhere from the end of December until January, is our time frame. In addition, I've attended numerous events through the Chamber of Commerce and Visit Williamsburg, making sure that we could have, I can learn the community, get to know the key stakeholders, and make sure HTRFA has a presence in all three jurisdictions. Kemper. Kemper and I coordinate. Ben and I are speaking daily. We have a one-on-one every week. Sometimes we have one-on-one every day. But we're working together on a detailed program calendar, balancing community use with tournaments and events and conferences to ensure tourism-driven activities. We've been working in collaboration with Visit Williamsburg. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And the work with Antonio and Heidi and Visit Williamsburg team. And I think that partnership has strengthened quite a bit over the last several months. Kemper's also working and continuing to work on their standard operating procedures and emergency action plans. And it's going to give us a day-to-day guide on the facility for the operations. I've been reviewing the budget expenditures with Kemper to ensure that we're aligning with the financial goals. We've continued to discuss the fee structure with Parks and Recreation departments within Kemper and what he is going to propose to them. And we're also looking at the space for programming within the center to provide opportunity Monday through Thursday for the Parks and Recreation Department, but also have open options for community drop-in for programs too. Financial transparency. I have been reviewing the budget process with the City of Williamsburg. I'm currently looking at the FY26 budget and looking at the revenue projections, both the short-term and long-term, with Kemper to make sure they're staying on track. Also, I have been tracking grant sponsorship opportunities so that we can be strategic. The large grant that we talked about, the funds for the Virginia State Tourism Grant, that's $500K that we would qualify for because of the strong application that we could provide. Those funds have yet to been secure yet through the state. So I did meet with the vice president at the Greater Williamsburg, and we did talk about that. So hopefully I'll have a meeting with him in the first of the new year if they can try to secure those funds as a possibility. And then lastly, the upcoming priorities that I have I'm looking ahead. Some of those will be, we're going to be working on the pouring rights with Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Going to be finalizing the travel policy. I'm also going to be working with the consistencies across all three jurisdictions with those policies. I'll be working with Kemper on the RFPs and making sure, like I said, that that's going to be an ongoing process for the next several months as he finds those contractual services and makes sure that he has those in the budget. And finally, we're working on the grand opening and the ribbon cutting, which we have a meeting coming up soon. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Dana.
Oh, there's a closing statement, but that's okay. Thank you.
All right. I guess we'll just keep going, and then we'll adjust the agenda when we get there. The operator's report?
Good afternoon. My name is Antonio Gonzalez, and I'm the Sports and Operations Manager with the new facility.
I'm Heidi Hume. I'm the Marketing and Sales Manager.
We're filling in for Ben. I'm sure he would much rather be here than coach Chicago right now, so here we are. So on the agenda today with us, you have Sports and Operations and Marketing and Corporate Development. With our events that we have coming up, Heidi has confirmed 10 conferences on our board. We have 38 confirmed, and we have 13 pending. And as you see, as I'm speaking today, some of those have been confirmed. Some, I believe, it was about 3 of them that went up since we turned in this presentation. We're always working to build the portfolio and sell the building. Morgan's been doing a great job with the partnership with Visit Williamsburg, and we're working extremely hard just to bring people in and to have the economic impact show the numbers and heads and bids. Right now, we're looking at the Coastal Women's Flag Football. That's opening weekend. We're going to test out the turf. We're super excited to have that turf, and it's a group that's bringing in around 200 athletes for that first weekend. And they're also doing a turkey bowl on Thanksgiving, which I think is pretty cool. Ben has doing ongoing tours. He toured the Blue Silver group for volleyball, And today, we just announced that the Gladiator and Gladiatrix Combat Wrestling, we confirmed a 3-year deal with that group, and Morgan worked really hard. Her and I together, we took the clients out to dinner. We kind of just convinced them, hey, this is the place to be, and a press release went out today from them at 1:30. So we're pretty excited about that, and you should see a extreme economic impact with that group coming in. I also confirmed another tournament with Kick It 5v5 Soccer. That's another group that's going to come in for one day and bring in around 50 teams. And that's just a fill-in spot to have the facility and a turf and give us a chance to, work out some kinks. So I'm pretty excited about that. And Ben is also doing ongoing prospecting tours every week. So
So the corporate side's a little bit slower. They're a little slower to make decisions, but there's a lot of interest for our space for non-sports events. I call them corporate events. So we have a basic listing on CVent, which kind of gives us the basic visibility. I'll be working with Ben on our budgeting to see where we might want to amplify that. So kind of our visibility matches the level of our facility. We have a really great opportunity with SEMA. It's a brand new Southeast Modeling Association. They're not models, they build models. So I call them my nerds. But that's a really great opportunity. I think it's like 300-400 people, some international, so it could really be really great for us. And it's the first time they're doing this event, and they would want to come back annually. There's another really great opportunity with the VCU Math Conference. Again, another like 450 people, Sunday through Wednesday. So I know my hotel group would really love me for that. But there's a lot of great interest. It's a little fluid. They're a little slow to make decisions. So from a marketing aspect, as you have a new brand, you have a new product, you kind of need the foundational items. So we completed the catering guide. We have a really robust event playbook is what I call it. It's a planning guide, so it gives all the details that somebody would need to make decisions to come to our place. As Dana mentioned, we have the grand opening. I worked on some frameworks. We have a meeting on Monday with the rest of the team. Super excited about that moving forward. And we had a lot of great visibility on social media from Ben attending the team's conference. So really making a concerted effort to grow our visibility and our brand. Usually with social media, more is not always better, so it's being strategic about when you post, but, and rarely will you hear me talk about wanting net new followers, but that's important right now because we're starting from the ground up. So I was really encouraged by a lot of those interactions because that's people actually interacting with our posts, liking, sharing, whatevering. So that's what you really want. And last but not least, as Dana even mentioned, we have an amazing partnership with Visit Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, really kind of reaching out across the communities and all the municipalities to make sure that we're connecting all the dots and leaving no opportunity unturned. Questions?
So on the conferences or the non-sports, are most of them during the week?
Some, it's a mix. It's a mix. Some are on the weekend as well. But the few that are kind of outstanding are during the week, which is encouraging. They don't all need the gym either, or the main hall, as I like to call it, because, it's a conference, not a sporting event. So not all of them need that space. So, putting them in the banquet room or in the breakouts or flex is kind of where I always start to leave the gym open for Parks and Rec or anything else that's going on. And actually, I will say a lot of them like my idea of doing a after lunch team building where we take them to the gym and do a little pickleball or a little shoot around with basketball. Everyone really seems to like that idea. So maybe something that will tick.
Last question. What is the wrestling? I'm not familiar with that one. So
the wrestling deal. So Morgan, you want me to steal your thunder on this? Okay. So the wrestling deal, Morgan and I brought in a group. Well, Morgan actually introduced a group. We took them on the tour. It's Gladiator, Gladiatrix, so it's men's and women's wrestling that comes in. It brings around 2,000 athletes. And the projected F&B that they usually do is around $500,000. So with that $500,000, you get that for 3 years. So you expect around 10,000 people to come to the facility, which includes the family and the athletes. They will be using the adventure gym as well. Passes will be sold to that before, so pre-event, you make a little bit of money off of that. So we're looking at, how many room nights, Morgan? Around 4,000? Yeah. So estimated high to be around 4,000 room nights. So that's what we
Good
are.
revenue generator.
It's a good revenue generator. They're in for around 4 days, so you get that load-in day. They do a weigh-in day, and they also have a tournament all day. So from 8 a.m. to around 10 p.m. or later, you're getting people in the facility and also in the restaurants, which is most important. So
I'll have to Google it to see what they're wearing and all that.
if you want to show up and be a fan, you can too. So I mean, yeah,
They might be referees.
Yeah.
they might.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions? All right,
Thank you.
we'll move on to construction report.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Todd Walker. I'm a construction manager and have oversight of the sports facility. Milestone updates. We have done HVAC startup, 20 mechanical units. We will have all of it started up by the end of this week. So the full facility, all HVAC systems will be in startup. We'll have a controlled air environment in that facility throughout. Owner vendors have begun the rough end of the data in the gym. So in there we have speakers, we have wireless access and data that we run to the north wall. So those guys have been working in there and they will be done by the 26th, just in the sports court area. The hub space will start in January. We'll start running all the data in there, security system, camera, wireless access. That will begin in January. Maple flooring install starts first week of December. Turf roll installation starts January of 26. We begin our epoxy flooring in December of this year. We'll start in certain sections. We're going to leave out most of the sections in the hub space in order to get our feature gym in. And then parking lot asphalt will be this March of 26. Just a few big milestones. Site work total complete is 55%. We haven't done a whole lot out there other than really curb and gutter. We've got some sidewalk in, and then we recently put, I think I show it in a later slide, we have the seating wall that's up near the plaza, the front of the building, that was placed last week. Building progress is 75%, so hub space, all wall paint is 100% complete. We have completed the ceiling paint. We do have Next Level Parks under contract. We are looking for a start for installation in February of 26, so we're manufacturing it right now. We hang sound baffles this week in the main hub area. So we do have a little bit of data and some cameras going in there just so we're out of the way of the baffles, but outside of that, we're not doing any other data rough-in. Sports courts, about 60% complete. Owner vendors, again, with speakers and wireless access. Completed installing permanent lighting. So when you guys walk in there, I know I did a tour last week with some James City County folks, and it was probably drastically different than what it looked like the previous time they were there. So if you have a chance to get into the building, all the permanent lighting on the sports courts are up. All the sports equipment is up. So volleyball, basketball, scoreboards, all of that is up. We are installing duct on the first floor and mezzanine HVAC duct. The ceiling is painted in that gathering area on the first floor 100%, and we're about 50% done on the mezzanine area. All the fabric duct also I did not list, that is up on the sports courts. So you'll see the fabric duct is 100% on the sports courts. Continuing our regularly scheduled OAC biweekly meetings, 11/20 is our next. And then we do opposite Thursdays, we do a construction update meeting with Kemper, and that next meeting is tomorrow, although I think we're canceled because Ben is out of town, so. So here's the front, here's the front of the building. You can see kind of in the background, a guy standing over there. We actually poured that knee wall or that planter wall, seating wall, last week, that day. So all the longboard that you see on the roof of our balcony is complete. All the longboard, we were about 50% done during this picture. It took them about another 5 hours and they were done with that. So we're 100% complete on that one too. So you'll see our hub space in there. It's a very clean site when you guys walk through, but the hub space feature wall has got its final paint on it. You can see the lighting accent of that feature wall. And we're probably 80% there with the design of that feature wall. So once we get that, we'll put it out to everybody to have a look at. We're coordinating right now with all our furniture and the colors in the space to make sure everything kind of matches. So. Here's our first floor gathering area. This is just under the mezzanine, the long corridor. That's our final paint in the ceiling. And then, of course, we're running down with the mezzanine ceiling paint there. Ceiling grid is 100% in our banquet room, so if you guys go in there, you can see the height of those ceilings. I think it was 100% when we walked the other day with James City County. And then these are a lot of our guys who are out there pulling wire. So they've done a really nice job of hiding that wire in those above beams and on columns. And we stipulated that all that wire needs to be white, so you can't even see it. Speakers are white. When you get out there, the speakers are quite large. It was kind of interesting. I didn't think they were going to be that big. But when you go out there, have a look up, and they're pretty big. But they're white as well, so they kind of get blended in. Anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question. I will say, if any board members have not been through in a while, I probably missed 6 or 8 weeks, and it was dramatic, the change from early September till last week, and all for the good. I mean, really a lot of exciting things, and seeing the finishes, bathroom tile up, and those kinds of things, and I think it is really going to impress folks in the community as they come through it. So, and Todd's a great tour guide. He's done it enough that he can answer any questions you might have wandering through there, so thank you.
Yeah, I certainly don't mind. The one thing I didn't add was really the bathrooms. We weren't really 100% by the time, and my slideshow was done. But if you guys want to get out there, the tile work out there is phenomenal. They really did they hit it out of the park. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Legal report. It's always real long, so I thought we would.
Well, we've been working on a lot of different matters, some of which we'll be talking about in a closed meeting. And we're working on some amendments to the ground lease with Colonial Williamsburg, and I'm sure that'll be a rapid process. You know, of course, we have the bond issue that we'll be talking about later in the agenda, but I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Questions for legal? All right. Open forum. If there's anybody in the audience that'd like to come forward, address the board, you can come to the podium, say your name and address. Keep your comments to 5 minutes. Okay, moving on. So this is the point where we'll deviate from the agenda a little bit. Instead of doing closed session first, we'll take new business. So the first item is consideration and action regarding proposed resolution number 25-02, approving the issuance of Recreational Facilities Revenue Note, Series 2025. Ms. Dameron.
Yes, Resolution 25-02 includes you authorizing a revenue note up to $15 million. And as part of that, you're also approving amended support agreement between the city and the authority, a supplemental, at least in draft form, a supplemental indenture agreement and a note purchase agreement. And with that, I'd like to invite Dan Siegel with Sands Anderson and the authority's bond attorney, as well as James Sanderson with Davenport and our financial advisor up to discuss these documents, as well as to answer any of your questions. And I think that that Mr. Sanderson can also give you a summary of the bids that we received.
I'll go first. Again, Jimmy Sanderson with Davenport. We're advisor to the authority. After we last spoke, we talked about going out and getting proposals from lenders up to $15 million, as Barbara mentioned. We did that. We asked for both a 3-year and a 5-year note from them, and we asked them if they would provide a drawdown note as well. We ended up getting 3 proposals, Huntington Bank, Town Bank, and Truist Bank. All very good proposals. Huntington and Truist offered only a drawdown loan, not a line of credit. Town Bank, though, offered a line of credit, and they also offered it in a way that doesn't charge any unused fee as well, which was a positive. So if you don't draw on the line, you're not paying for that unused portion of the line of credit. The Town Bank rates were, again, they give us a 3-year and a 5-year rate. The 3-year was a 366 and the 5-year was a 378. Just to give you a sense, the other lower proposal, Truist Bank, came in a little bit lower than that on their interest rate, 3.4 and 3.6%, but they required you to draw down all the money at one time. So our recommendation is going to be to move forward with the Town Bank proposal, with your approval, obviously. The other positive with the Town Bank proposal was that it allowed prepayment at any time with no penalty. So again, we can use as much up to the $15 million as we want, and at what point we figure out we're ready to lock it in for a longer term, again, we can prepay it at any time, no penalty. I'll let Dan hit on the documents before you, but the next steps are going to be, obviously, come to you first. If you favorably approve it, we're going to go to City Council tomorrow for them to consider the support agreement around it, and then we're targeting closing early December, around December 10th. So before Dan, any questions on the proposals that we received?
Just one thing that I wanted to say, and you said it, but I want to just make it real clear. In preparation for tomorrow with City Council and talking about this just a little bit on Monday at our City Council meeting, there's confusion already over the fact that this is not a standard bond in the sense that we're taking a loan, receiving all the money, and paying interest on all that money from the word go, right? This is truly a line of credit where the authority can pull down from the line whatever we might need in that moment, pay it back as we might need, and we're only paying interest on the standing balance, whatever it might be, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there. I know you received in the packet the resolution, which is before you. It's broad-based, so I'm going to ask you on that resolution to refer to the recommendation we have with Town Bank and the 5-year recommendation. But other than that, that resolution works. It approves the documents that you also had in the packet. So the amended support agreement with the city, the supplemental indenture with the trustee, because we did that other bond issue last summer in 2024, and it refers to those documents. I think the only other thing is the actual note itself and a note purchase agreement between the lender and us as the authority. So, but I can go through the detail of each of these documents as well as go through the resolution, but the resolution does do all the authorizations that are necessary. So if you'd like, I'll go through by paragraph if you prefer.
Questions for Dan or Jimmy?
One resolution.
One resolution authorizes the officers to go ahead and sign all the documents and to select the lender. And what I'm asking as part of the motion to approve the resolution is the Town Bank proposal for a 5-year.
Okay. Any questions?
Questions, anybody? And you can call me afterwards. These are, if you have questions, you go through these. I know it's great nighttime reading. So late at night, have a question, give me a call.
Right. Is there a motion?
Motion that we go with the 5-year Town Bank resolution, supporting that.
Okay, so motion to approve the resolution and proceed with Town Bank for 5 years.
Yes.
Got it. there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Hutton?
Aye.
Mr. Bellamy?
Aye.
Chair Trivett?
Aye.
Vice Chair Stevens?
Aye.
Mr. Fuller?
Aye.
Mr. Carnifex?
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, John. All right, now we'll circle back to closed session.
So I move that the Board of the Historic Triangle Recreational Facilities Authority convene in a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Section Code 2.2-3711A8, consultation with legal counsel employed to or retained by the board regarding a specific legal matter requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel.
Second?
Ms. Hutton?
Aye.
Mr. Bellamy?
Aye.
Chair Trivett?
Aye.
Mr. Fuller?
Aye.
Mr. Carnifex?
Aye. All right, we will recess to closed session and then come back out in a few minutes, hopefully, and